Hello everyone, and welcome to the Reddit Railway. My name is Victor, and I'll be your driver. Today's destination is r/PettyRevenge, so all aboard! My brother-in-law proposed to my husband's sister at our very formal wedding luncheon. I didn't find out until later because my sister, my hero, told them if they didn't sit down and shut up, she'd break their teeth with a hammer. That did not stop my husband's grandmother from being super excited. She tried to make the DJ announce their engagement and play their song so they could dance to it alone. My husband found out and shut that down immediately. Again, I had no idea. At their wedding, they had a live band. There was also a DJ who played music whenever they took breaks. During dinner, our wedding song came on. It doesn't matter where we are, if we hear that song, we dance. So my husband pulled me up and away we went. His sister threw a temper tantrum that would shame a 6-year-old child. She had a meltdown in front of God and everyone else. My husband turned to her and said, "Gee, what could it possibly hurt to have a special moment here? After all, you got engaged during our wedding." I was in shock. Everyone in the room went silent. She sat down. The DJ played it again and we kept dancing. I've said it before and I'll say it again. You don't propose at another person's wedding. Ever! Nonetheless, the way your husband got back at them was beautiful. He's a keeper. And well done to the DJ for starting up the song again. Also, your sister sounds awesome. Is she single by any chance? Full disclosure, this was at the beginning of quarantine for most of the US. I have 2 roommates that are dating. When I first moved in with my original roommate, we were both single guys. We were good friends and it was a lot cheaper to share a house. About 6 months after we moved in together, he moved his girlfriend in. No problem. She was cool and we all got along. Flash forward a couple of months and quarantine hit. I had to work from home. They didn't, but were still getting paid. And to quote r/, they were constantly passionately hugging. I have no problem with that, but she was insanely loud. I told them they needed to quiet down during work hours, and his exact words were, "We aren't that loud. Quit exaggerating and deal with it." Pertinent to this story is that I'm an IT help desk person, so I was on the phone a lot. One day while I was on the phone with a client, they started going at it. The client was a young female and she heard it. She asked me if I was watching porn while helping her. I apologized and told her it was my roommate and his girlfriend. She laughed and said she understood. I finished helping and hung up. The next day I get a phone call from my CTO saying a client complained I was watching porn while helping them. I explained the situation to him and he laughed it off. Thank goodness he was a cool boss. I told them about it and he reiterated that she wasn't that loud and to suck it up. So a couple of days later on a weekend, they started going at it again. I pulled out my phone and recorded the audio. No, I didn't keep it, so don't ask. The next morning, they were both at the dining room table eating breakfast. I looked him dead in the eye and said, "You aren't loud?" I played the audio, which was recorded through our air duct. She turned white as a sheet and apologized profusely. I haven't heard anything since. Damn, they must have been really loud if your clients could hear them. Obviously, the woman you spoke to filed that complaint. Can't say I blame her. I'd certainly be uncomfortable if I heard those sorts of noises while on the phone. Your roommate should have been more considerate of your position, though I can't blame them too much. You gotta pass the time in lockdown somehow. How did you manage it? Sound off down below. Many years ago, when I was in my early 20s, I was engaged to a guy who was, well, not the best. He was a man-child who would refuse to talk about anything but himself, video games, and football. Back then, I had severe self-confidence issues. I stayed with him because I had convinced myself nobody would love me and that I should be grateful someone did. As a consequence, we only ever did what he wanted. He picked the movie, where we went on date nights, where we went on vacation, etc. I was rather close to his mother. We got along so well we often went out together. When my boyfriend proposed, she was thrilled that I was going to be her daughter-in-law. Unfortunately, after we got engaged, he started acting weird. He got super secretive of his phone and started going out multiple nights a week with the boys. Then he started cancelling our date nights. I tried to talk to him about it, asking if he'd forgotten about our plans. He would yell at me and call me controlling, so I backed off. At first I was in denial. I told myself there was no way he'd cheat. He had proposed. He wanted to spend the rest of his life with me. Why would somebody propose and then cheat? But eventually I broke down. While he was asleep, I got into his phone and Facebook account. Jackpot. I found texts with multiple women, nudes from multiple women, and worst of all, recordings of him sleeping with multiple women. I was devastated. I confronted him and he screamed at me. He told me I had invaded his privacy and it was controlling behavior like this that made him cheat. We broke up. He moved back in with his mother. He made a big deal about how noble he was letting me me keep our little flat, even though I paid for most of the deposit and rent. The moment his mother heard about our breakup, she came rushing over to make sure I was okay. I didn't have the heart to tell her the real reason since I knew she would come down on him like a ton of bricks. My boyfriend's father had cheated on her. She had tried to instill in him and his siblings to never cheat, so I lied and told her we just drifted apart. I got a snotty message from my ex. He wasn't happy his mother came to me first instead of him. He once again accused me of being controlling. He was her son, so why would she come and see me? I foolishly apologized and said she had just turned up. A few weeks roll by and I'm slinking into a deep depression. Then I get a series of nasty texts from his mother calling me a whore and other choice names. She says she can't believe I betrayed her precious boy. She tries calling, but I don't answer as I'm terrified of what she'll say. It became clear my ex had told her we broke up because I cheated. This was probably revenge for her coming to see me first instead of him. I did send her a text asking if that's what happened. She confirmed it was. According to him, I had cheated with multiple men. When I told her the truth, she refused to believe it. Why would her son lie? She continued by asking why I would hurt him this way. Now her baby was scarred for life. My anxiety melted away and was replaced with anger. I still had all the evidence of his cheating backed up on my laptop. I sent it all to his mother. Every text, every sext, every nude, and every conversation that confirmed he had spent the night with multiple women. I also include every sex video he made. I did warn her about all the explicit content and censored it as best I could. A few hours went by and she tried calling. I was too scared to answer. Then she sent a text apologizing for what she had said and promised she would deal with her lying sack of shit of a son. Her words, not mine. A few days went by and my phone starts blowing up. This time it's my ex. He was furious I told his mother the truth. Not only was she mad at him, but so was most of his family, his sisters, his grandmother, even his dad, the one who cheated. The dad said he was disappointed in him. "How dare you tell her," he texted. "Now she's saying I have to apologize to you. That's not fair." It was then that I had an epiphany. I knew I was done with him. I knew I deserved better. I calmly replied that he was the one who lied. I told his mother we just drifted apart. He could have left it there, but chose to be petty. He was the one who caused this. He was the one who cheated. Then I blocked his number. His mother invited me out one last time so we could enjoy a meal together. She apologized again for what she said and wished me the best. She then broke down all the good qualities she saw in me, all the positives. She told me what a good person I was and that I should find somebody who was worthy of me. I burst out crying. It was a well-needed wake-up call that got me started on the long road to gaining self-confidence. Her son, on the other hand, got the scolding of a lifetime from his mother, grandmother, sisters, his father, and even his stepmother. Some of his friends even told him what a douche he was being. His mother made him pay her back for all the deposits she had put down on our wedding venues and vendors. The cherry on top was whenever he made whiny posts about how unfair it was or tried to blame me, everyone chimed in to correct him. They reminded him exactly why he was suffering in the first place. It's been over a decade since. I am happily married to a wonderful, supportive man with 3 beautiful children. I still look back on that moment and laugh at how my ex could have avoided it all if he just kept his mouth shut and not acted like a petulant child. Yep, your ex was a man-child, no mistake. This is why you should never settle in a relationship. It's a recipe for disaster, and this could have been a disaster if OP didn't have evidence of the ex's cheating. You should always be honest about why you break up with someone, especially if infidelity is the reason. It's way too easy for the wayward spouse to turn it around on you, and I find it extremely funny the father is disappointed that his son cheated. Hypocrite much? Then again, the apple never rots far from the tree. I'm glad you were able to bounce back, OP. Best of luck to you. Anyway, we've come to the end of our journey. Thank you for traveling on the Reddit Railway, and we hope to see you again soon.